Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Anime Iceberg. I'm Megan,
And I'm Meg.
and we're back
And
today with a special, very special bonus episode.
yes, I'm actually so excited to talk about this.
Yeah,
Um, we mentioned it in our episode this week, um, that we went to a Comic-Con and we wanted to make a bonus episode talking about it. Yeah, so I guess it was a couple weeks ago. At this point, we went to Anime Nebrascon, which is, I think it happens every year. And this year actually was like the 20-year anniversary.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't think we did any of the special 20-year things.
Nah,
Um,
nah.
what do you want to start with first? Do you want to start with voice actors or
Yeah, let's just go for it. The voice actors were the main
okay.
reason we wanted to go anyway, so.
Yes, yes. So we actually did, I think we talked about it on our other podcast, but we went to the same one last year.
Hmm.
Um, but this year we really wanted to go because Aaron Dismuke was there who plays Senku. So we're like, we have to go.
For the
Um,
podcast.
yes, that was what we told ourselves.
Yeah.
But also I think he is my favorite voice actor. So, um,
Yes, well, okay, I can't, it's hard to make a list, but he's one of them for me,
yeah.
for sure. If not my favorite, but he's very talented
Okay,
and he's
after
been around the
meeting
block.
him.
After meeting, he was so nice. Okay, I was a little nervous to meet him because there's a saying that you should never meet your heroes, and I do really look up to voice actors as, fellow creatives. So a part of me was nervous, like, oh, maybe he won't want to talk to us. I wasn't, my brain wasn't going so far as to think that he's like a jerk in real life.
No.
But I was nervous about how our interaction would go, but I feel like we vibed really well. Like he was just very friendly to everybody, and he especially
hmm
wanted to talk to us about like the questions we had.
Yeah, no, both times we went to two panels with him. One, the first one we went to, it was really enjoyable, but it also was like a little rough because there was like a there was a kazoo contest going on next next to
Yeah,
the
poor
room that we
Aaron. Poor Aaron would be like trying to think of an answer to a question. He's like, "Oh yeah, good question. That's and you'd hear a from next door, and he'd just stop and go, "Is that bothering anyone else? That's bothering me."
Yeah, but so yeah, we went to that panel. That was just like a general Q&A. And then we also went to he had a panel about surviving the zombie apocalypse.
That was fun.
It was so fun because he shared his well first I didn't know this, but he was an extra on The Walking Dead.
That was a
And
fun story.
he had a really funny story about it. I won't share it, but it was very entertaining. And then he shared his survival plan, and then there was just like a audience discussion about,
Yeah,
you
the people
know,
in the front row were very good
yeah,
at
they
their questions and answers.
yeah, yeah, it was great. Um, and honestly, he just like to me, he did remind me like a lot of Senku. Like he
Yeah,
just like so well spoken, and he's like really good at like explaining things.
yeah.
'Cause like he's kind of a I think he's like kind of a history nerd.
Yes, he was a history
And
major, he said.
yeah, and so he just would like had so many random facts of like the history facts that I had never heard of. And so it's super interesting listening to him just like talk about stuff. Um, but yeah, so then we met him like twice. Like we stood in his line, and the first time we got each of us, our other friend Ava, she's been on the podcast and will be on it again very soon. Um, we all got something signed by him.
Yes.
And I took pictures of everything, so I'll share them on our Instagram.
Yeah, it was cool because
Um,
we covered all the bases of like our favorite characters. So Meg, of course, got a really cool Senku print signed by him, and he wrote this exhilarating, get excited on it. And then Ava got Alphonse, a really it was a really well done print, print of Alphonse, and since the print had a cat on it, Aaron wrote, "Can we keep him?" Which is so cute. And then I chose Tamaki from My Hero Academia, and I put the print down in front of him, and he's like, "I want to go home." And I was like, "Yep, that's the quote I want." You guessed it.
Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, he's just so nice. And but then now into the questions that we asked him.
Yes.
Um, so first, oh man, okay, I haven't shared these on our Instagram yet. I keep meaning to. Um, but that the first question reminds me of it. So not Dr. Stone related. He was Kakaru in Fruits Basket, and so Megan asked him if he had read the manga because there's just like there's so much more in it.
Yeah, especially with
Especially
his
with
character.
yeah. But
Um,
he said that he hadn't read it, but he talked with oh, who was the director? Was it?
Caitlin Glass. It was
Yeah.
Caitlin Glass.
Yeah,
He had
who's
to
that?
know more
That's
of
Winry,
That's Winry.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he had to know
Um,
more of the story so he could play the character. And I did talk with Aaron and I explained like why it's so important that Kakeru knows Toru. So
mhm.
I I just like briefly mentioned it and said that that was cool and it was too bad they couldn't animate it. They just didn't have enough time, I guess. And he wanted to see more of his character, of course, too.
Mhm. Yeah. But he did mention that he's read the Promised Neverland manga, which we just made an episode about. And the reason that that came up is okay, I'll have to remember to share these, but Megan made these like super cute Kirby forms of all the mains in Dr. Stone. And so she gave him the Senku one and he loved it so much. He like kept it on his table like the whole weekend and he said like when we came back the next day like I heard him say like he's been using it as a way to like tell people to like read The Promised Neverland. Because if you read it you'll know the monsters. I guess he basically the connection he was trying to make was like Kirby's power and the the monsters, the demons in that story. Um, so
Yeah.
go read it
I
if you want to figure out
I had to
what he's
explain to
talking about.
him what it was before I gave it to him. I was like, okay, this thing's gonna seem really random to you, but so they're needle felt characters, which is a hobby I've been obsessed with lately. But Matt Shipman, who plays Chrome, I follow him on Instagram, and he apparently loves Kirby because he posts really cute like cartoon stuff all the time, and a lot of them are Kirby themed. So I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if Chrome was a Kirby? I can imagine what he'd look like. And after I made the Chrome one, I was like, well, I gotta make a Senku, and it's like, well, I gotta make again. Well, I gotta and on and on and on. So I ended up with all these characters, and my goal is to meet each of those voice actors and give them their Kirby's so they can all like convene and go, you met that crazy girl too?
No, he was like so happy when you when you gave it to him. It was so funny. Yeah, yeah. It was great. But yes, on to the actual Dr. Stone questions that we asked him. Most of them were just like actually they're all just fun questions. The first one was how are you like Senku? And he said that um he is naturally curious like Senku is. Which honestly just talking to him I
Yeah,
got that. Definitely
yeah.
got that vibe. And then he likes to make people suffer for their benefit and his enjoyment. Which honestly, I felt that. It's like so good.
Kind of like it. This is gonna hurt, but it's gonna help you later.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's funny to watch you try.
Mm-hmm. And then we asked him what would Senku's major be in college. And he said that Senku would be a triple major in bioengineering, chemical engineering, and electrical engineering, which I think was a very good answer. And then he also said he would get his master's or PhD in like aerospace
That
because
tracks.
you gotta put the space. I mean, Senku wants to go to space, so it's gotta have
Yeah.
that somewhere. Um, yeah. Do you think Senku would go for a master's or a PhD? I would probably say a PhD because
Dr. Stone. Hmm.
yeah, exactly. So basically, do you know what I mean, besides the amount of time, do you know what like the difference is between a master's and
You
a
know,
PhD?
I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah, so basically the when you get your master's, you master a subject.
Oh,
And then when you get your PhD, like the requirement for that is that you have to like add to the body of knowledge about a
oh,
specific
gotcha.
subject.
Gotcha. So not
Yeah.
only master it, but like exceed it.
Yes.
Or
Add add
yes.
something that wasn't known before.
Advance it.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I feel like Senku would definitely want to find fi find something new. He already
Yeah.
knows everything. He's gotta learn something new.
Mm-mm.
Um, yes, okay, and then we also asked him what his favorite thing that Senku has made. And he said the light bulb because it reminded him that there are good things that humans have made, which I thought was like I thought that was a good answer.
Yeah.
Um,
I also like the speech, or maybe he said this too, but the speech that Senku gave to Chrome when he made the light bulb was like humanity beat back the darkness and like something it's like the rekindling of that spark of hope, you know.
mhm. Yeah, yes. And then the last question that we asked him, I loved his answers. What is the most unrealistic thing that Senku makes in Dr. Stone?
World peace.
Yep, he was like it like got that out so quick. Like it was so funny.
I That's
Um,
accurate though. Like not
mhm,
everyone you're gonna meet in life is gonna agree with you. And if Senku meets I mean, we haven't exceeded the number quite yet of like people you can know in your group without, getting confused. So we'll see what happens when they revive more and more people. But yes, it would be very unrealistic if there was no inner conflict between humans because that's what humans do.
mhm.
And now I can't help but imagine, that scene from Miss Congeniality where they're like, what would you want to change about the world or what goal do you strive for? And she just deadpan goes, harsher punishment for criminals. And then she goes, I mean, world peace. I can see Senku doing that.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So that was our chats that we had with Aaron. I feel like there was so many other questions that we could have asked him, but couldn't take up all of his time. Um, but yeah, it was super fun meeting him. Um, but he wasn't the
Yeah,
vo only voice actor that we met. Yeah, do you
not by a long shot.
have any
Oh,
other final thoughts about Aaron?
Oh, just how I thought it was really sweet. Well, we did get a picture with him on the second day. But on the first day, we were, talking to him, one on one for the first time. And I think Ava was feeling a little shy. And at the end of our conversation, she's not usually on the podcast, so we were gabbing away and she was standing there taking it all in. But after we were done, she looks up at Aaron and goes, excuse me, would it be okay if I gave you a hug? And how can you say no to that? That is so sweet. And so she got a hug with him and we got a picture of them too. But the whole weekend he was wearing this super soft looking cardigan and she was like, "You guys, it's just as soft as it looks."
hmm And it was.
Yes, I was on. Aaron was between you and Ava when we took the pic, and I was on your side, so I wasn't directly touching him, but I made sure to like put my arm by his so I could feel what the cardigan was like.
Like
Sorry,
I'm
Aaron, if
gonna
that was kind of weird, but it looks so soft.
I'm gonna steal your cardigan.
Might be way too big for me.
We should have been like,
He's
where
like
did you get
six.
that?
He's like six
He's
foot three,
so
and I'm
tall.
5'2", so I was just like, "Hi, Aaron," looking up
Dude,
at the
he's a
ceiling.
whole foot taller than you. That's hilarious.
Foot and an inch. Foot and an inch taller.
I mean, he's almost he's like 10 inches taller than me, I guess. So almost a foot. But yeah. Yes. Anyway, he wasn't the only voice actor we met. Nobody else from Dr. Stone, but we just wanted to go over quickly some of the other people that we met and what shows they're in. And we also asked them questions too. Not as many. Um, but we met Chris Guerrero, and he plays Aizen from Frieren. And so we asked him.
What weapon would you want to wield in a fantasy world? Like, what would you want to be? And he said something like a knight, like armor and like
Mhm,
maybe like a great sword, like a huge sword. Like think Fire Emblem, basically. Um,
mhm,
and we also asked him like, would Aizen did he like the side quests that Himmel took them on? And his answer was like, oh, probably not at first, because he's like, let's just go slay the Demon King and get this over with. But he said he'd probably warm up to the idea, learn to slow down and enjoy the moments.
yeah, and then we also met Brittany Karbowski. She plays Yachi from Haikyuu, and then she also plays Pride in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which was the other podcast that we did. And so we asked her what sport Yachi would do, and she said that she thought she'd be like a roller skater or ice skater, which I thought was kind of
I could
was a
see that.
unique answer. And yeah, I could definitely see that. And then we asked her if she thought Pride was father's favorite. And she was kind of like surprised by the question. She was like, "Oh, yeah, definitely."
Yeah, she thought about it. She's like going through the list of the other homunculi children, and she's like, you know what? Yeah, Pride would be his favorite. And we also met or re-met Griffin Burns. He was there the year before. Super nice guy to talk to. Um, this time around, oh, it was so sweet. So he plays Tokito in Demon Slayer, and I gave him a little Tokito sticker that I made, and he like held it up and started talking in the voice, which is so cute. Like his voice is very in a normal range, but to talk as Tokito, who's a 14-year-old kid, he like raises his voice up to here. He just did it so effortlessly. It was so sweet. And we asked him like, would you want mist breathing like your character, or like what kind of other breathing forms or what kind of Hashira would you like to be? And he's like, no, mist breathing is just so cool. And he could say the mist breathing forms off the top of his head. And I was like, good for you. All I can remember is thunder breathing, first form, thunderclap, and flash.
hmm
That's because it's repeated like 18 times.
Yeah. Okay, and then we also met Tia Ballard, and she plays Nene from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, and then also Kagura in Fruits Basket. And well, you asked her if she had read the manga, and she said she had, I think. And then we also asked her, uh, Kagura was like obsessed with Kyo, but obviously,
That didn't work out.
yeah. So we asked her like what she thought Kagura's husband would be like. Um, and she was like, well, he definitely would have to keep up with her energy, but also like keep her grounded, which I don't think Kyo would have been good at doing for
No,
sure.
I think Kyo's knee-jerk response is to like run away from her, but also to just be fed up with her. So I think
hmm
they make decent friends. Like you can see them get along in some instances, but I think like I don't know. I feel like because Kagura had such a crush on him, not only are their personalities not compatible, but when somebody puts you on a pedestal like that, they're looking
Mm-hmm.
at you through rose-colored glasses, and you're like, I can never measure up to what you think I am, and I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to try to measure up to these high hopes you have of me.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be hard. Yeah, and then we also met, okay. I am
Sungwoo
so
Cho?
sorry. Yes. Yes, that's pretty good. I think that's right. Or
Okay.
close to being right. And he plays Kage from Ranking of Kings, which if you have not watched that show, definitely check it out. It's just so wholesome. And then so we asked him, he's like, why is Kage the best character or the best? And he's like, he's the best friend because he's like super supportive and he always has Boji's back. And it's so true. Like, uh, he
Kage is
just
the best.
he is the best.
He's
Yeah.
he signed our booklets too for
Oh yeah, he
free. That
did.
was
He
so
did.
nice.
That's super nice of him. All right, and then
Oh yeah, I'll do the last one because Meg didn't get to meet him. She was waiting for the artist to come back in one of the um the last guy was Kyle Hebert, and he plays Fat Gum in My Hero Academia. And I don't know, he was just a fun guy to talk to. Like there were actually more voice actors that we didn't get to see. But like I feel like everyone was kind of spread out and some tables were busier than others, and he was just chilling at his, and there wasn't a line, so I went up to him and I gave him some art I made for him. He's like, "Oh, cool. Can I take a picture with you?" We took a selfie. And so I have that on my phone, and he also saw that I had my Instagram on the back of my artwork. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tag you." And not an hour later, I checked my phone and he tagged me already on his Instagram. That was awesome.
that is awesome. Yeah, so that was those are all the voice actors that we met. They were all, I mean, we this is the third Comic-Con that we've been to. And every time everybody's so nice and like they're just
Yeah.
like willing to talk to you. We are don't have a lot of money, so we can't really like pay for autographs. Um,
We
so we're
should just
mostly
get one
just
autograph per con. So,
yeah, and this was actually the first time I've gotten one.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm kind of like, I don't want people drawing on my art. I'm kind of picky. But for Aaron, I made an exception. Um, yeah, I mean, even like when we don't pay them for anything, they're always like so nice and like willing to answer
Yeah.
our questions, and
And
it's
I usually
great.
try to give art to everybody that we see. And in cons past, it didn't happen this time. I mean, like you can count the selfies and the pictures as the freebies they gave out and the autographs.
Mm-hmm.
But the two cons before this that we went to, I there were people that like I gave them fan art and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool. Let me sign a poster for free for you." It was, I mean, that's insane
Mm-hmm.
because like it costs a lot to get an autograph from them. So I think they just appreciate any fan interaction you can give, and they're just most of them love what they do, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but all the other stuff that we did, honestly, we went to the two panels with Aaron, and then we went to like a voice acting panel.
Yeah, Chris Guerrero was hosting one
Mm-hmm.
about like how to read sides for voice acting, how to audition. And that was really cool. Ava was
Mm-hmm.
excited for that one because she wants to be a voice actor. And then I was excited for one. It was about doing sound effects for manga. And I learned some things. I might take that into my career someday. So that was very beneficial for me and boring for Meg. So thank you.
Yeah, I was sending, I don't know if you, I probably sent you like 20
Oh, I
pins.
saw them. I saw them. I was
Yeah.
watching you as you hit the send button on most of those.
Yep. You're like, ah, you'll enjoy them
Yeah.
later. Yeah, so I think honestly this time was like that we went to the fewest number of panels, which I
Yeah.
honestly was fine with it. Um we went to the AMV contest.
It's pretty good. There
Yeah, it
was
was
an
pretty good.
origami. There's an origami MV, so I
Yeah.
appreciated that.
I mostly the ones that I liked were the ones that had like multiple animes in them
Mm.
because to be honest, like this time around, last time there was a lot more that I recognized, but this time a lot of the animes I know hadn't seen, and so it was like,
Yeah, there were quite a few
it's
that were
okay.
just there were American cartoons too. Like they weren't all
Yeah.
animes. Because
Yeah.
all you have to do is have an animated music video. That's just what an AMV is. It doesn't have to be anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but usually at this con it is.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was really fun to watch. Yes, okay, also, how could we forget? We also did do very simple cosplays both days.
Yes.
And I'll share pictures of them. Um, the first day, surprise, surprise, we dressed up as characters from Tokyo Revengers. We didn't go as any specific character.
No, we got asked
Um,
the question which characters we were, but
yeah.
they were white bomber jackets, and I made Tomon lanyard keychains to put on
Hmm.
the sleeve pockets like they have in the show. Except I had to change it to just say Tomon instead of having the Manji symbol on there because it looks like something else. Um, but I thought they were pretty cool. I also bought a Mitsuya earring to wear, and Meg had like these super cool earrings that weren't any character in particular, but like they just looked like something one of the guys would wear.
Hmm.
And then Ava had the clover necklace like Takamichi and Hina have, so it was pretty good. Um, and then the second day, I thought the Tokyo Revengers one was going to be like the cosplay I liked the best, but I actually liked our Link Click outfits.
I agree.
Yeah, Meg was Lu Guang, and she basically had the outfit already. It's just like a white button-up shirt, but you leave it open and like have a plain t-shirt underneath, and like just the pants and the shoes she had because he dresses pretty casually. And then I was Chashasha, if I'm saying his name right. And I just I mean I have athletic pants like his. I wore Converse instead of Vans, so gasp, I'm not true to the character. But I also had his like varsity jacket that he has in season 2, and I embroidered the little clock insignia on it. So it was pretty easy to put together. It was very cheap. But then Ava went all out. She was Chowling, and she went on a website to get Chowling's season 1 outfit, the really cool shirt spandex skirt combo, and the wraparound skirt she got was so it was so cool, and she had like these chunky boot shoes wearing with it. So I think she nailed it. She wins. And
Hmm.
none of us were wearing wigs for these ones. We just kind of went as
No.
ourselves with outfit inspired,
Yeah,
So it was
I don't like wearing wigs, so
they're itchy and
try
hurt.
not to. Um, yeah, but then we also saw a lot of cool cosplays, obviously. I think we saw another Tokyo Revengers one. This guy was Draken and he
He was like the
had
same
the hair
height.
and
He had the natural hair.
he had the tattoo. Like it was crazy. Like
He had the black
he
jacket on and the
yeah.
boots.
And then we saw lots of Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh yeah, it was cool. It was very cool.
Yeah, it was great. And then there was a really cool Dr. Stone. Three girls were Dr. Stone.
Yes.
The
The
one was
Senku
Senku, and then
funeral.
yep, yep, and they did a really good job. I think they made it themselves.
Yes, gender
And
bent. It was cool.
yep,
It was really
yep,
awesome.
and we took pictures of it. It was great. And then I saw a lot of Greg from Over the Garden Wall, and it was great, so cute. So I love those. And then there's honestly, I think the one that I maybe saw the most with Hawk was Hawks. Like
Those
I saw
were pretty awesome.
a lot of those. Yeah, they're always so cool. I love the wings.
I saw a lot of
Um,
Edward Elric's. That made me happy.
yeah, I did. I did too, which is yay because that show needs to stay alive.
Yes, please.
Um, and we also saw a lot of free runs. I saw a couple.
We saw
Yeah.
Stark and Fern walking together, holding hands.
Oh, that was so cute.
I melted a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not
that
normally
was
that sappy, but my word, were they
no.
adorable.
That would be a good couple's costume
Yeah.
for sure. Um, and then the last thing is, well, we already shared what we got from Aaron, but we also bought other stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
we had
you
a
can,
budget, but oh well.
yeah.
Ha 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 ha. Um, so actually, I only got one thing because I am probably the poorest one of all three of us. So there was this really cool, and I started following him on Instagram, but this really cool booth, Shane Sour Art, and he does like these calligraphy pen brush drawings of characters, and I had to get one of the Yato prints he had. There are two of them, Yato like flipping one of his 5 yen coins, and Yato with his sword, and the sword one was really cool, but the one of the coin looked friendlier, and I put it up in my room. It's hanging over my bed. So every time I come into my room, I see Yato's smug, smiling face waiting for me. And I'm just like, yes, because he's kind of my spirit animal right now. I feel him. I feel that destitute kid looking for. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not in dire straits. It's okay. But it
Oh,
was
that's funny.
super cool that Noragami was represented at the con. Ava got some prints and she got like there was this guy selling t-shirts, so she got some cool swag.
Yeah, I really like, she had like I think that my favorite thing that she got was the t-shirt where it's like
It's a
it
con
was a
haul.
guy like taking pictures of everything that he bought, and we
And that's
literally
what
did that exact thing. When we got home, we like put everything
Yep.
on the floor and took pictures. So it was
Yep.
great. It's like perfect. Um yeah, and then okay, I was like I can't get any more prints because I I don't have any more room on my walls.
And
And
guess who
then
got Prince? Meg.
I think I got, besides the Senku one, I got four. Okay, here's what happened. Okay, I did go into it knowing I was like, I really want a free run print because they're gonna be gorgeous. Um, so I found one of like the original crew, and so I got that. And then there was another booth that had one of like the new crew with like Stark and why is my
Aaron.
yes, thank you. Um, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that one too. And then that booth had a like buy two, get one free, and they had a bunch of other ones that I really wanted. And so I was like, oh, I'll just do the deal. So I got,
Wow, Meg.
it was a deal.
Can't say no to that, right?
Yeah, you get one for free. Um, so I also, besides the two free prints, I also got a Princess Mononoke, which is my favorite Studio Ghibli. And then also I got a really pretty Howl's Moving Castle. Um, and I will like share pictures of all of them and also the artists. Hopefully I'll be able to
Yeah.
find them on Instagram. Um, but yeah, I gotta find space on my wall. Honestly, they're just gonna sit in a pile for a while until I get frames and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our con experience. It was super fun. Every time we go, it's I don't know. It's more enjoyable. I think it's been more enjoyable each time we've gone.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and I'm gonna run out of space on my walls soon. Oops. All right. Thanks for listening. If you're still here, we will be back to our usual content on Tuesday.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, bye.